Welcome to Beyond the Coverage. I'm Chris Horner. In today's edition, as promised from yesterday's edition, I want to cover the preview for Paris-Nice that's starting on Sunday. Now, we got remarkable talent starting at Paris-Nice. It's going to be a spectacular 8 stages of racing, and stage 3 is going to be a team time trial. So we know there's a lot of drama that will come after stage 3's team time trial in terms of who's wearing the race leader's jersey here at Paris-Nice. Now, before we get in deep into Primož Roglič and Remco Evenepoel, that we know are the two-time biggest favorites here, and the highlighted two riders 100% have to be the Slovenian and the Belgium kid because they're both Grand Tour winners, right? And we're starting the season here at Paris-Nice. This is really going to be the start where nothing is quite watered down anymore. Now, we have Trino Adriatico going on and Paris-Nice at the same time. So, of course, you got a split field. We're missing Jonas Vingegaard, Tadej Pogačar starting Strade Bianche tomorrow on Saturday, so he won't be doing either one of the big week-long opening season races here at the European Peloton, but that doesn't mean the field isn't stacked. On my list, like I said, outside of the two riders, Primož Roglič and Remco, I got about a dozen riders that can win Paris-Nice if those two riders mess up. Now, how can they mess up? Well, let's look over at Bora Hansgrohe with Primož Roglič. First off, he has Alexander Vlasov as his main right-hand lieutenant here when you get into the mountains. But outside of Vlasov, you look at this team of 7, there's not a whole lot of climbing talent there unless we're looking at my old teammate Bob Jungels. Now, Bob Jungels has gone top 10 at the Giro, and he's climbed spectacular. He's climbed really bad sometimes too, but he's won stages at the Tour de France, mountain stages at the Tour de France. So Bob Jungels could be that solid glue between the riders like Nico Dins and Danny Van Poppel, where we're going to see Bob Jungels do something special on the penultimate climb, or maybe even 3 climbs before the last climb. And then Vlasov has to do something special all the way up the last climb if Primož Roglič, the Slovenian, is in dominating form. But remember, there is a team time trial coming, as I already mentioned, on stage 3, but you got to get through the first 2 flat stages. So why are you turning into Paris-Nice instead of Trino Adriatico? Well, there's sprinters galore. We got Dylan Groenewegen here, Tour de France stage winner. Mads Pedersen from Trek, he is a Tour de France stage sprint winner. He is a fabulous force to be reckoned with, and he's already on flying form for Trek. So we know stages 1 and 2 are going to be battles with the sprinters, but will the crosswinds come into play? When I first did Paris-Nice way back in the 90s with FDJ, it was raining and miserable, and my feet were frozen. One foot was frozen for 3 weeks. I'm telling you, I'm not even joking. It was numb for almost 3 weeks. For sure, I had frostbite after starting the first 2 stages at Paris-Nice, and it was the coldest I had ever been in my life on a bike after I finished that stage. That's how bad the weather can be on the first stages when you're up there in the center of France. But they're going to start slowly coming down south. Once we get to the team time trial, what's going to happen there? Well, this is where the drama is going to start coming into play. Because when I look at UAE Team Emirates, Brandon McNulty and Almeida, both time trial specialists. Brandon McNulty, if he's recovered from that UAE sickness that he had on the last day, let me remind you, on the individual time trial before that, he's clearly on form, and being just a little sick might not affect your form when you get here to Paris-Nice. But who else do they got to battle against? Well, Ineos are here, right? Ineos have Egan Bernal. Now, remember when I covered Tour of Colombia? I said, Ineos, what are you thinking sending Egan Bernal to Strade Bianche? Well, they scratched him off of Strade Bianche. So what does it mean here at Paris-Nice for Egan Bernal? Well, it means they are already thinking about the Colombian chances of going to the Tour de France, and that's why they took him off of Strade Bianche, so that they can keep Egan Bernal, the Colombian rider's form, continuing to lift and rise all the way up to July, so we can see Ineos with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 riders that can possibly put some stress on the other GC big-time favorites, the best riders in the world, Remco, Primož, Tadej Pogačar, and Jonas Vingegaard. These guys right now with 4 guys from Ineos, if Egan Bernal's form can continue, that's why he's here at Paris-Nice. And let me remind you guys, he's a past winner here at Paris-Nice in 2019. That same season in 2019, he went on to win the Tour de France, he won Tour of Swiss, and he won Piemonte, a one-day race. So Egan Bernal is talent. All talent, and the only reason why we haven't seen him is he's had injuries after injuries after injuries for the last few seasons, but now it looks like the Colombian is going to hold the hopes of Colombia on his shoulders as we're getting ready for July and we're start the real battle of the season here at Paris-Nice. Now, what else is on tap? Well, let's go back and look at UAE team members again, because they have a past Paris-Nice winner here. His name is Marc Soler. Soler is here. The Solerism is here. So you got to tune in here over Torino Adriatico, because Marc Soler is going to highlight every race he gets into with his drama of tactics. He may win the overall classification here. He may blow up. He may pull his team away and have someone help someone from his team win, or he might make it harder for someone from his team to win. I don't know what the Solerism is going to do, but he's here and it's going to be exciting. Now, other riders, Davide Gaudu from FDJ, he's here, but he hasn't been on great form at the earlier seasons where he's raced, but he's got some top 20s, but he was second here last year. So you know FDJ with Gaudu, they want to go big time here at Paris-Nice, but there's a host of talent just like I told you. Now, when we look further at some of the talent, Trek. They have Mads Pedersen that I already mentioned, but they got a GC rider in Skilmos. Matthias Skilmos is here, and that kid won Tour of Swiss last year. So you know, when you look at his interviews, he is motivated to try bringing his level up. If Remco Evenepoel and Primoz Roglič can't hold the peloton together here at Paris-Nice, look for a rider like Skilmos to go up the road with one of the UAE Team Emirates number of riders, because they got Jay Vine here. I already told you Soler, Brandon. I told you Almeida's here. They got a list of riders because they got Felix Großschartner here. He could get up the road too. In fact, the only person they brought out of the 7 riders for UAE Team Emirates that can't climb, well, of course, that's the big guy, Niels Paulette. Now, Niels Paulette is going to be riding the front if they get someone in the race leader's jersey after the team time trial. But I'm here to say, tactically, if you are in the race leader's yellow jersey at Paris-Nice after the team time trial, don't even ride on stage 4 in the first mountain stage here at Paris-Nice. Make Remco Evenepoel or Primoz Roglič, if they lose the team time trial, make one of their teams right on the front and keep all of your climbers from UAE Team Emirates safe. Have them follow either Bora Hansgrohe or Soudal Quickstep if they get someone in the break. If not, sit back there and tell those teams, you want to win with Primoz, get on the front and ride. I'm not going to get on the front and ride if I'm UAE Team Emirates and I got a 5, 6, 7 second gap after the team time trial, because right up here, both Garrett and myself believe UAE Team Emirates will be in the hot seat after stage 3's team time trial if Brandon McNulty's on form, that is. Then we think they'll be in the lead by 7 seconds. And if you're only in the lead by 7 seconds, I know you guys are sitting at home, you're thinking, Chris, if they're wearing the leader's jersey, you have to ride the front. No, you don't. You don't have to ride the front. The objective is to win the overall classification after stage 8 on the Col d'Ez. So UAE Team Emirates have to keep all of their 6 good climbers here on the team as fresh as they can to get into the last stages of 7 and 8 so that they can start some kind of tactical battle when the brakes are going up the road on those 2 important mountain stages. Stage 4 is going to be important too. I haven't forgot it, but we know stage 7 and 8 are absolutely big time, because we saw Primoz Roglič a couple years back. When he won at Paris-Nice, he needed help from the big guy, Wout van Aert, to come back and get him on Col d'Ez in order to keep Yates under control and win the general classification. Now, why did I bring up Wout van Aert? Because I know a lot of you guys love Mathieu van der Poel, and you left comments on my last video about how, Chris, Mathieu van der Poel is better than Wout van Aert. You guys are crazy, and that's why you tune in. I'm here to tell you guys the facts, right? Wout van Aert is a game changer, and he's not here for Primoz Roglič. So, when we're looking at Bora Hansgrohe, and you look that they only brought Alex Vlasov here as the climber, and maybe, of course, they have the Luxembourg rider there. Like I said, if he can come out with some good climbing form, Bob Jungels that is, then maybe they got a third guy. But when I look at their list, it's not deep, which means if Primoz Roglič does get himself in the race leader's jersey with stage 7 and 8 still to go here, and your UAE Team Emirates with 6 solid climbers, all within 30 seconds, 1 minute of Primoz Roglič, and Roglič doesn't have much depth of climbers, you can still win Paris-Nice on stages 7 and certainly on stage 8, because we saw it almost happen before in the past. So right now, when you're looking at Soudal Quickstep, certainly with Remco Evenepoel, the high favorite, but again, his team looks a whole lot like Bora Hansgrohe. super number one favorite with Remco and Primož Roglič. But Remco's looking, he's got there with Ian van Wilder. That's his climbing talent, and Vervaeke. Vervaeke is good. There's no doubt about it. He'll get into the close to the last climb, if not slightly up the last climb. But then he's not going to be there when we get far up that last climb. So Remco's going to possibly be without any help. Primož Roglič could be without any help if Vlasov has to ride early, which again leaves the door open for UAE team members. It's going to be an exciting finish. 3 past winners. Primož Roglič. Marc Soler is there as a past winner in 2018 and 2019. Like I said, Egan Bernal. All of these teams are stacked, and Ineos, along with Egan Bernal, they got Carlos Rodriguez, right? That Spaniard is something fantastic when he's on form, and he's going to want to start shining right now. So keep an eye out on Ineos. Certainly UAE Team Emirates is right there. Bora Hansgrohe, we know it. Primož Roglič. Soudal Quickstep with Remco Evenepoel is stacked. And Trek, we got to keep an eye out for Trek because Skilmos is on flying form in the early part of the 2024 season. And guys, there's one team I haven't even mentioned. Visma Lease Bike. Jorgensen, Matteo Jorgensen looked fantastic up at the Belgium Classics, but those are one-day races. But he can ride GC in these week-long races too, and it looks like his form has gone up for the American because Visma Lease Bike seems to make everybody a better rider. So Visma Lease Bike's Matteo Jorgensen, you got to keep at least a slight eye on the American there, and his teammate Wilco Kelderman. Stacked field here at Paris-Nice starting on here on Sunday's race. We know it's going to be spectacular. Like and subscribe. I'll see you for the butterfly effect on Sunday, stage 1 of Paris-Nice, but I'll see you tomorrow for Strade Bianche, where Tadej Pogačar, hopefully all that motor pacing he's been doing and everything he's been showing with his power meter is going to pay off for Strade Bianche, and he'll highlight a big-time entry win here to the 2024 season because we know Remco's winning, Jonas Vingegaard's winning, Tadej Pogačar, he normally starts the season with a win, so I'll see you there for the butterfly effect and again on Sunday for Paris-Nice Stage 1. Like and subscribe. I'll see you real soon.